Listen up, Earth Angels. Embodying your purpose and embracing the unknown will enlighten your path to success. Ooh, I love. Okay, this is a new moon reading. I pulled some cards a couple days ago on the new moon. I think a new moon lasts like 4 days. And that's been about the length of my period, which started on the new moon also. Oh, love, so aligned. Um, and so I want to share it with you because I know you all are just a beautiful expression and reflection of me. And so if, my energy resonates and you want to stick around, get a glimpse of what's going on and, yeah, what the tea is for this new moon, let me let you in, okay? So, also I want to show off my nails. They're so freaking pretty. And I've never done it like this before. So, anyway, first card we pulled was coagulation, soul ascension, okay? So you are in a period where you are embodying your sun sign, your soul's gold, your purpose. Now, your sun sign in astrology represents like your life purpose, your soul's purpose and alignment. And so you have been doing the alchemical work, the healing, the spiritual work, the integration to get yourself to this level where you're really embodying your life's purpose, your soul's purpose. And so, for me, I am a Scorpio, and some have said I'm the Scorpio to every Scorpio. So, I am someone who, I really like the depths. I like, the mystical, death and rebirth, sexuality, magic, spirituality, the occult. Love that stuff, okay? And yeah, I've just been, really metamorphosizing and, unbecoming and becoming again, being born anew. So we're actually gonna get more into that because so anyway, I might be talking to some Scorpios also, or other people who are just, really embodying your soul's purpose. So yeah, this card is calling you to let your soul's essence shine through. You've come so far and you really have been embodying your light and your essence, and it's powerful. So new life decisions, new opportunities, and life changes are coming for you, baby. But you got this. Remember to stay present. At this phase, you can have some perfectionism creep up. So remember that really, whatever you do is perfect. There's no perfection. There's just presence, okay? Rather than perfection, try presence, okay? And yeah, keep embodying that sun, your soul's purpose. You know why you're here, and you are embodying that. You're not just talking about it, you're actually embodying this highest self, this version of you who knows why we're here, and you're doing it, okay? Part of the process of soul ascension is the phoenix, death and rebirth, which is actually, associated with Scorpio. And this is also a necessary process in alchemy, in reality creation. You have to die to the old self and you become born anew, renewed. And so Scorpio is about death, regeneration, and rebirth. And that is what a phoenix be doing, okay? It, grows into a adult phoenix, all beautiful and red and gold. And then when it's about to die, it creates this nest of all these different things, and then he sets the nest on fire, and sets themselves on fire. And then from the ashes, another little baby, a renewed, regenerated phoenix comes to be. And when, they are strong enough, they like take the ashes from that, their last nest and their last, burning up, and they turn it into an egg and put it at the altar of Ra. I'm just giving you the stuff from this Black Moon Lilith book. I have a really good memory. So, yeah, that is what the ancient Egyptians said about the phoenix. And the phoenix is associated with the planet Scorpio, which is all about death and rebirth, transformation, regeneration, which is a necessary step before your soul can ascend. So you're in this period where, you just had some death and rebirth, and you are integrating the lessons you got from that last burning up and shedding. Yeah, you were shining your soul so brightly. You were embodying your purpose so radiantly. It was emanating from you. It was so hot that you burned yourself up, burned up anything that was like holding you back, and became born anew, renewed, even stronger. So another thing that was coming up was, this is Black Moon Lilith in Pisces. Pisces is about the unseen, illusion, sacrifice, fantasy. Sometimes you can, like when you're a kid, sometimes your escape is into your imagination, and you don't necessarily have the ability, the freedom, the support to embody it, bring those fantasies into reality. Maybe the only place you could escape to when you were a kid was your imagination, was your fantasies. But now you're an adult, baby. You've gone through this, death and rebirth cycle. You are integrating and embodying your purpose. And part of that is going to be grounding your fantasies in reality. So not just thinking about this person you want to be, not just fantasizing, dreaming about being this person who stands up, who speaks their mind, who, is, does what they say they're going to do, who makes an impact in this world. You're not just dreaming of being that person. You're actually embodying it. You are taking the steps to ground it in reality. You've taken the classes, you've done the meditation, and this card is actually like reminding us to, be present and, get back into some meditation so that you can ground your fantasies in this reality. Yeah. So, you're in this period where, new opportunities, new life changes, new, decisions are presenting themselves at a much faster rate. And, that necessitates you to do some quick metamorphoses, quick death and rebirth, dying to your old self and becoming renewed. More yourself each time. And so when you're going through this process, you want to make sure you are honoring your own boundaries. You don't want to fall into the trap of over sacrificing yourself for others. Pisces is like associated with sacrifice. It's associated with Jesus Christ, the fish. So you're here to sacrifice your old self to become more of who you've always been. Oh, yes, Phoenix, we love. Yeah. Okay. So then I pulled some tarot cards to get some more on this message. Okay. So let me take you along. Remember all I just said and let me know how it's resonating with you. All right. So first card I pulled for this new moon, I was like, what do I need to know, Spirit? What is yeah, what do I want to focus on? What is going on in this new moon cycle, this lunation? And the first card that came up was the Fool. Ooh, I love the Fool. And this is what we're talking about. You're at this new beginning, this new phase. You've done a lot of work and you've death and rebirth and you've done the healing. I think part of your purpose is healing. That's certainly part of my purpose. I know that like when I heal, the collective heals. So you're welcome. And so this is maybe a new beginning for you, a new identity. And it's calling for you to have some openness and some optimism. Trust in the universe, babe. Just like turn around and like jump backwards, and you're gonna find how supported you are. This is a time where you can, let yourself be in touch with your innocence, your free spirit, your fearlessness that you had when you were a child. You don't have to just imagine, content yourself with imagining taking the leap or starting anew. You're actually embodying this. This is your purpose, is to start over again, embrace the unknown. I think that's one of the reasons you're maybe hesitant, is because you've learned to be afraid of the unknown, and you seek maybe control to feel safe enough to trust the unknown. So we also have the Emperor in reverse, though. I feel like this is what you're here to do. This is the new thing. You're like kind of resisting, rebelling against, going against like the old way. You're turning like any power structure. You're having these power struggles, okay? And you're turning any power structure that is overly rigid, tyrannical, domineering, overly restrictive. You are turning away from that. You're resisting that. You're repelled by that. It makes you feel like, you're in this energy. You're in the Fool's energy. You're trying to trust. You're trying to be free. You're being fearless. So you're not afraid of these, like, someone's like, you got to do this thing. Even if you are that person who is trying to force yourself to do something, you are not recreating these old systems where your masculine side is trying to force your feminine side, your expressive side, your creative side to create. You are here to start, channeling your need to fantasize into creativity, into real world creation. And you've been, calling in more structure, but it's like, it allows for your free spiritedness. It allows you to explore, and you can be optimistic about whatever you're doing. You're setting out on this new path, you're taking a leap, but you just know you're protected. So you don't have to like overly restrict and be like, don't go too far, don't stray too far, you got to be afraid. No, it's not what we're doing anymore. And I feel like you are this Knight of Swords. You're really smart, very intelligent, very ambitious, driven, focused. You are someone who gets things done. When you get an idea in your head, you're not like, oh, well, let me see what everyone else thinks and I'll try to get them to do it. You're like, I'm just going to get it done. You might have a little bit of impatience. You're like, F it, we're doing it live. You're not spending too much time hemming and hawing over like, if you can do something, what you can do. You're very success driven. You know that you get it done. And so you can like, if anything, you can kind of be a little bit perfectionist. We were talking about that in, I think, several of these. Yes. In this process, you are so success driven, ambitious, that you can be a little bit like caught up sometimes with like, oh, am I doing this right? Am I educated enough? Have I practiced enough? But you have. You can also maybe be a little impulsive, um, because you're just like, I'm gonna do it. And I think actually you should like go with that instinct. You're supported by the universe. Fortune favors the bold and the daring. Success takes more audacity than talent. And baby, you are audacious and you are incredibly talented. So, success is guaranteed. So you can dive in head first. You see, this horse is like charging. They're ready. Um, yeah. So yeah, you are very, assertive, direct. You assert your will on this world. And that's what you're here to do. That's part of your soul purpose, is to be yourself, embody, use your intellect, your drive, and create what you want. Go after what you want. Go get it. And you do that. And so you are starting to embrace the unknown, but you could do more of that. And, one of the things we can be like, oh, I wish I knew, like, how do I look to other people? What are other people kind of saying when I express fully, when I'm embodying, my soul purpose, when I've like become this new identity, when I start honoring my own boundaries and not just sacrificing for everyone else? Well, let me give you a little, look, a little peek into how other people are seeing you. So other people see you as the mother of knives. Yes, mother. Queen of knives. You see, I wore my dagger earrings because I'm here to communicate the truth, baby. The truth for you. And I think you're the same. This whole reading, by the way, is kind of giving me, it's very scorpionic, which to me, it's Scorpio is ruled by Mars and Pluto. So it's very, to me, like it's a fiery water. Just like, oh my God, terrifying. um, anyway, though, they see you as the mother of knives, and she is very wise. She's very sharp. She's to the point. She's very decisive. She is independent also. She always hits her target. She's like oriented to truth and justice and discernment. People can, maybe be like, that's a little like cold, but like it's in a cool way. Like she's wearing sunglasses and she like one hand throws a knife and it like always hits the target and they're like, damn, God damn. That's you. It's me too. It's so funny. My last name is actually Blunt. So not only am I this like powerful Scorpio, um, I like do really embody it. um, and so it's like, it's interesting because it still has this effect of being very kind of mysterious. It's like, ooh, you know exactly where you stand with this person. And that's like so rare. It's like, ooh, 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 mm, electrifying. So yeah, keep speaking your truth. You're not one for like beating around the bush and like dancing around it and like, like a lot of small talk. You are to the point. You say what needs to be said. You don't mince words. You have empathy, but your intellect, your reason, your logic uh, overrules, any pulls on your heartstrings. You're Queen of Swords, baby. That's how people see you. So remember, that's badass. Like people love that. People love to see like, ooh, yes, yes, mama. She just tells it like it is. That's so powerful, such an icon. And so they also are seeing you as the strength card. And so you see on this, my girl is not only dancing, she's dancing with a panther, okay? And that's how you are. You are like, people are seeing you as very strong. You have this inner strength. It's like, you're assertive and firm, but you're compassionate. And so you're, sharp. You're like It's almost kind of a masculine energy in the decisiveness, in the powerfulness. But you have this like feminine balancing of this like wild, tamed power. And that's how people see you. They see you as someone who's like, I think, very balanced. You're maybe in a feminine vessel, but you maybe feel like you have some masculine kind of traits. People have maybe told you your energy is kind of masculine. Probably just means you like are honest. You're probably just a little bit autistic. And so you're just like telling it like it is. You're not like pretending to be someone you're not. You're not like, like lying to protect someone's feelings. You are being honest to protect someone's feelings. Which is interesting that like that's associated with like a masculine trait, because like, I mean, we'll get into that, another day, I think. But I think it's just very like you're to the point, and you have a soft hand. Your persuasion, you influence rather than like being a tyrant. You are, yeah, you're like softer about it. That's how people see you. They also see you as the moon. They're like confused. They've never seen anyone like you before. So many people are taught to, be diplomatic and, kind of have this facade and like not really say what they think, not say what they feel, to like tone it down and to like police your tone. And like, you are confident in what you have to say, in what you think, your thoughts and ideas. So you can deliver the truth without being brutal, but it might feel a little sharp. Okay. It's precise. It's like, damn, okay, yeah, she's right. She's not wrong. And it's just people are unfamiliar with it, the unknown. But you are out here embracing the unknown. You're dancing in the moonlight, And so people are confused. They like don't really understand what you're doing. It's mysterious to them though, So like the moon, people find you beautiful. They love to just see you do your thing. They love to watch you in your powerful energy, even if it doesn't make sense to them, even if it kind of scares them, even if these hoes be turning into werewolves. They don't like kind of understand. They're uncomfortable with like what you do to them. Yeah, the moon is the unconscious, it's the unseen, and you're out here dancing. And people are like, whoa, that's crazy. The moon controls the ocean tides, It controls something as grand and powerful as the ocean. And so people are seeing you as this really powerful force who like dances with powerful forces, who kind of has this power to control powerful forces. You might not even see yourself as this. I'm telling you how other people are seeing you. So they see you as like this person with this inner strength, this like resilience, this compassion, and you can like handle power. Power doesn't overwhelm you. You are the source that moves powerful forces. Yeah, that's how everyone's seeing you. Ooh, isn't that so brilliant? Ooh. Yeah, and I love how there's like, you might be a dancer, but I feel like you're even more than a dancer. You're a performer. You're putting on a show, baby. Okay? You're dancing in the moonlight. You are the moon. People are looking up at you. They're just like staring up at you in awe. And they're like, whoa, she's so wild and powerful and mysterious. She's illuminating the darkness. She sees what's going on. She tells it like it is. She's wise. She's independent. She's powerful. That is how people are seeing you. So your work of embodying your purpose, you've died to these old, stories of who you were, and you're honoring your boundaries now. You're bringing your fantasies, your, like dream identity, you're grounding it in this reality. You're embodying it. People are seeing it. They're seeing you as this like wild, free, abundant, like, feminine, but in a powerful, creative, sexy way. So yeah. But I feel like this is how you're feeling maybe on the inside, okay? Like you have been, people see you as this like, badass, independent, you know, I'm like working 9 to 5, but I feel like you're kind of not working 9 to 5 actually. But like just like you're kind of you got it. You taking care of business, um, and you are very independent. You're not like relying on a lot of other people. You're very self-reliant. But I feel like you also are collaborating more with people. People know how skilled you are, how brilliant you are, how fun to work with you are, and you have been calling in and aligning with, yeah, just like more resonant people, more aligned collaborators who share your values and your vision, and you're just like getting it done. Oh, was I supposed to cover this up? She is kind of naked. That's okay. Um, so yeah, you've been working on something. You're at the beginning stages with the 3. Um, and I feel like what's maybe slowing you down is, you're maybe struggling to surrender a little bit, to release your old mindsets, your old maybe fears, your old, yeah, ways of operating. You're kind of afraid to let certain things die, even if these are just like, yeah, old ways of old stories you told yourself. Like, maybe you told yourself like all your life is just you're here to struggle and you have to like work hard, and no matter how hard you work, you kind of still never have enough, and you're struggling to believe. You're struggling to, see it. You're struggling with the unknown. You might still be trying to figure it out. You might be tempted to like, you're like ruminating in your head about like, how's it going to work out? Like I have this vision, I have this great vision, and I'm good at like getting after it. I'm so ambitious. I'm good at like getting shit done, but like, how's it going to work out? And about the bridge of incidents, babe. So I think this is calling you to take a step back and relax. See things from a different perspective. I like when this card is in reversed because it kind of looks like, I don't know, you're like floating, right? You're like defying gravity. You're seeing things from a different perspective, and it's like kind of giving me like, Jesus vibes. It's giving me third eye, like you're kind of laying back, kicking your feet up, and like looking at things from a different vantage point, a different perspective. And you're maybe, a little hesitant. There's been a bit of a delay in your ability to kind of release these old fears, this fear of the unknown. Because you're here to, embrace the unknown. That's where your power is. And I was talking yesterday to Billy, like he was saying he was excited for like Overwatch. He plays the video game Overwatch, and like every 3 months they come out with this new character, and the like he was just talking about like, ooh, it's always this new backstory and these things, and like so he's excited for that. And it's like we can approach the unknown with that kind of like excitement. Like, ooh, I don't know what it's gonna be, but I know it's gonna come. I know I'm going to enjoy it. I don't know, like the unknowing is part of the fun. It's part of the excitement. And so like you avoid spoilers, because like part of the fun, part of the pleasure is in the unknowing. And so you are, being called to, surrender. Embrace the unknown. Surrender to it. Like, know that like it's gonna be good, you know? You can surrender. Like the spirit's got you. And you know, this is the Nine of Wands. You're coming out of this period of like struggle, out of like, you know, yeah, you did work hard. Like probably feel very safe and comfortable, and yeah, you feel safe working hard. And so like now you're being called to kind of surrender, which is a little scary, right? It's kind of unknown. You know, you get it done. And so when you're called to surrender, it's like, oh, I don't know, like, but don't worry. That's maybe the hard work for you is, you know, surrendering, learning to trust, learning to know, like, you got it, babe. And the 9 is like, you know, you're almost there. You pretty much, you're at the top of the hill. Like, these mountains are behind you. You are in great shape. These wands are all fruiting, you know. So you're going to get this second wind, and it's going to work out. You're almost at the end. So this is calling you to keep the hope. Keep the hope alive. Keep the faith alive. Yeah. Because yeah, I think that's something you might be struggling with, is this fear of the unknown and this doubt that creeps up, because you're like, I don't know how it's going to happen. So it's easy to be like, oh, maybe it's not going to happen. And you can be afraid of that. But you always figure it out. Okay, so you don't have to worry. You know, like, you're almost at the end. So like, have your human moment of like, oh, it's so hard. But like, know that it's always going to be better. Each time you know, die, you are born anew. You're, you know, closer to, you know, ascension. You're more of yourself. You're more on your soul mission. And you're almost there. Okay, so this is what's coming. This is kind of how you've been feeling internally. It's how other people feel of you. This is who you are. And this is the result of all of this work, okay, for this new moon. This is kind of the, yeah. Knight of Wands. Ooh. Fast moving, right? Because you are, like, we've got several knights. So this is a reading with a lot of knights and a lot of wands, which is a masculine energy. It's like an action. These are like both knights. They're like moving forward, because that's just who you are. You aren't someone who really rests on your laurels too much, which is why, you know, being, you know, kicking your feet up and kind of pausing, so you're not like rushing, right? Even though these are kind of like, you're very like, I'm doing it, I'm going. And we love that. Absolutely. But Knight of Wands, so in this card, like, you know, they're on a motorcycle, no helmet. And, you know, their right hand is holding the wand and their left hand is like steering. So the left hand is associated with the divine, with spirit. And so you're being like, spirit has taken the wheel, is like doing the driving, you know? So you're navigating by faith, you know, not by sight, not necessarily, you know, by like, you know, a strategic, calculated kind of thing. You're not being overly logical. You're not talking yourself out of stuff. You're talking yourself into it. Your, you know, head and your heart are aligned. So, I mean, you got it. And yeah, you're driving in, you're coming in fast, and you're channeling this energy, and or you are resonating with people like me who are, you know, radiating this energy of confidence and energy and passion. And you're not letting these doubts, you know, these fears about like, oh, well, maybe like the old way is always going to win. Like, you're not letting that stop you. You're on it, babe. Like, come on, like, coming in hot. And, you know, then I pulled 6 of Swords, And I thought it was interesting. These are both like very forward moving cards. Six of Swords is about you're coming out of this period of struggle, you know, and, you know, confusion, and hardship, but you're rowing yourself towards calmer waters now. You're out of the storm and you are moving forward at a very fast clip towards your success. You're a star, baby. And, you know, I feel like this card is also about kind of, you are this North Star. You are a very hopeful person. You are a very like positive person. You are going to be successful. You shoot for the stars and you get it. You know, you're very like good at like, you know, balancing, you know, opposing, harmonizing, balancing yourself in order to get what you want. These are all like very successful kind of cards. And I think you maybe just do have these periods of, you know, fear of the unknown a little bit, like a little like doubt. And that can lead to a little bit of despair, losing hope, losing belief in yourself, losing belief that you can do it, that you can pull it off. You get a little afraid that like maybe it's not going to work. But come on, babe. Come on. You're the star, okay? People look up at you in awe. You always pull it off, okay? This new version of you, especially, like, they're integrating, like, all of the past lessons. They, you know, have learned from their struggles. They know that it's only this or better. They are moving forward on their path of success. So you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry, darling. In fact, this is calling you to have a renewed sense of hope. So we're, you know, letting the old self who was kind of prone to despair and, you know, if you didn't know exactly how something was going to happen, you would be afraid and you would, you know, like be rigid and you would be like, oh, I got to do this. Oh, I got to tighten up. I got to tighten up. But like, you actually have to release, let go, take the leap, surrender. And that's just going to keep pulling you forward, babe. You're going to reach the stars. You are a star. You're always coming home to yourself, and who you are is a star, baby. You're always successful, and you're starting to get more success, more recognition. More people are looking up at you in awe. They're just gazing at you like, what the heck? Oh my gosh, who is this brilliant celestial being? Just like, oh, so beautiful and ethereal and otherworldly and wise and strong and brilliant and like fiery and, you know, watery and just, giving us life, babe, giving us freaking life. So yeah, all in all, embodying your purpose and embracing the unknown has enlightened your path to success. There's all these like successful cards. It's all so good. Wow. Let me tell you, like, I'm glad I did this. I'm glad I let it take as long as it wanted to take. And, you know, I am also someone who can tend towards perfectionism. And so I will, you know, sometimes be like, well, let me like, I have these different guidebooks and I'll like go through different ones and I'll meditate on the message and I'll, you know, like listen to other readers, hear what, like, I'll just, and at a certain point I have to be like, girl, you're ready. You're fine. This is all made up. This, you are a very confident person who's an excellent communicator. You know exactly what to say and you can kind of trust it. So it's like a kind of Dunning-Kruger effect is going on. The Dunning-Kruger effect is like people who like are kind of amateur and don't know as much overestimate how much they know, how good they are at something. Whereas people who are experts, who know a lot, they're like, they know that there's more that they don't know. And so they're like, I know less than I do, but like you do know. You're an expert. You know more than enough. You know everything you need to know. And so now all you need to do is like not just keep it all up in your mind. You need to embody it, bring it down, integrate it. You see, this is like, it's like coming together. Yeah. So embody it, do it, act. This is a very like, masculine, kind of energy coming through. And so it's like, but it's interesting because I feel like embodying is also very feminine. So, beautiful balance coming through in this. So anyway, you're going to be grounding your fantasies in reality by creating. So if you're near an ocean, go put your feet in the ocean, connect with it, maybe listen to something with ocean sounds, because that's going to like connect you to this creative Neptunian, Piscean energy. Deep emotional fantasies, the unknown, and you're embracing it now and you're bringing that through. So yeah, let me know what you're creating. Let me know how you're grounding, your dreams in this reality. Yeah. Oh, gotta stretch my legs. Anyway, let me know what you think, you guys. This was fun. I liked doing it this way. This was different. So I'm going to get on again tomorrow. I'm doing this 365 days of daily going on and just like, allowing myself to just embody this kind of spiritual being that I am. And you're being called to do the same thing. I know because you've stuck around to the end. And so, let yourself be woo-woo. Okay. Let yourself bathe and play and, embody in the spiritual realm, embrace the unknown, know that it's going to turn out way better than you expect. The bridge of incidents, is up to spirit, God, the universe. You are just in charge of holding the vision, babe, of keeping the hope, shooting for the stars. And the how isn't up to you. It's taken care of. You can relax, all right? You can surrender. And you're doing it. You're on the path. The path to success has been illuminated and you are on it, babe. Let spirit direct you. Let your heart lead you. You got it. All right? You crazy, sexy fool, you. All right. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. We're on day like 90. I love that. It's been so easy and so fun. So, keep going. All right. Love you so much. This is all made up. You're doing a great job. And I'll talk to you, Earth Angels, soon. Okay. Love you. Bye.